Good afternoon. Can you hear me and can you see my monitor? Let me ask that first. Okay, that's good. Okay, there isn't very much on today's agenda. It looks like it, but keep in mind that it's just the green letters that we'll be looking at. I received a message this morning from Jane saying that there is a new point release on the sandbox this morning. So down here on this line, the number that you should see in the sandbox now should be 6.00.06. And if you are working in the sandbox today, you need to remember to clear your cache and reload your browser. I've noticed in past point releases that if I forget to do that, things do not always work the way that they're supposed to. That's also a second suggestion, is that if you are working and something doesn't seem to be going right, go ahead and clear your cache and reload your browser and try again on the off chance that something actually was upgraded without us knowing about it. Okay, the main topic today is talking about the upgrade to Bibliovation 6.0. This week when I talked with Patrick, he mentioned that he was aware that this was the last week that had been set for upgrades for Waldo libraries, with the thought that any remaining libraries would be scheduled by LibLime and upgraded during the first couple of weeks of August. So I went back and looked through the support center and updated what I could tell for those libraries that have already had their systems upgraded. And the ones who are upgraded are BCO, WJC, William James, which used to be Massachusetts Professional Psychology School, and DYC, CHS, WWCC, which is Walla Walla, the Community College, and Columbia Basin. That's fine. They haven't upgraded. I can change that on this so that I keep it up to date. I'll change it right away, in fact. Whoops. Oh. Okay. And the libraries that are scheduled already for either upgrade next week or in the first couple of weeks of August include Marymount Manhattan, the Seminary, Hartford, and Bank Street. And I put the dates in there so that you just have a real general idea of when those upgrades were to be done. And there are 10 libraries that have not yet scheduled their upgrade. When I talked with Patrick about this, I asked him to make sure that they didn't do what he said they were going to do, which was to just go ahead and update libraries without letting them know. I did ask him to make sure that they know that they're being upgraded at LibLine's choice of date rather than at their choice of date. And he did say that he agreed with that. Jatika is the person who works with Luis to schedule the upgrades, and she was out at a customer site yesterday and today, so she hasn't worked on the upgrade schedule yet. But just to assure you, they are going to have an upgrade schedule that will be sent to me, and I will then post it on the Waldo support mailing list once I get it, so that the libraries have a way to know that they are being upgraded at a specific time. If everybody were on the call today, it would be really great, but we don't have representatives from each of these libraries. I will send out a message after this meeting saying that that these libraries need to be aware that their upgrades will be scheduled by LibLine. And I suggested also to Patrick that he send a note to the person or persons that are already registered in the support center so that somebody at the library would be aware of what was going on. I think since it's LibLine that's doing it, that they need to get a little bit of, they need to be helpful with this, with the libraries that haven't done the scheduling. So hopefully by the time we next meet, everyone or nearly everyone will be up to date on Bibliovation 6.0. The reason for this is that the reason that the upgrades are important to get done is that Patrick told me that the features that were ordered, the new features that were the new programming that was ordered by South Central Library System, and the one feature that we had ordered is and that is what I expect to see in today's update. But he said that that will be in version 6.2. And if the software that has been delivered today does in fact include the one item that we ordered, which is for automatic patron loads, that is something that over the next few weeks we'll be working on testing. The one library that brought this up initially was St. John's, and I would expect that they would be working with us on the testing. But I know that we've already asked Hartford to be willing or to be able to help us test. So that's something, Ben, that I'll be coordinating with everyone next week, or whenever I know for certain that that feature is in the software. Are there any questions? Okay. Other than that, if there are any new bugs that you found that you'd like people to know about, or anything that you've run across that would be interesting to other libraries, I would certainly encourage you to take the time now to talk about it. Okay, that's good to know. I was reading through the support center, and I did read about the reports problem. Ah, good. So there may be something, a hot fix or something that they put in. Ben, how are you coming along with your preparations for upgrading to version or to Bibliovation 6.0?
Hi, Becky. So customization work by Jim has been kind of slow, and I'm hoping that we're still going to be able to make our August 8th goal for switching over to the new version.
Okay.
That's my biggest concern moving forward. We're doing some testing. A lot of the circ stuff looks fine. We've done a little bit of testing with billing, and although that's different, that seems to be okay too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good to hear. Okay, well, I don't really have anything else for today. I expect that once I see what the release notes are, that I'll be able to at least provide a list of what's new. But once again, when I get the release notes, I'll just send a message to the Waldo support list, letting you know that they are there. My guess is that there are, in addition to some of the new features that I talked about, there are probably several fixes that have been applied as well. And those sometimes I don't focus on so much during these meetings, but they are things that you need to be aware of. If nobody else has anything to bring up or to talk about, we're done for today.
Hi, Becky.
Yeah.
Were you in on the Code Fusion call? Oh gosh, last week,
Yeah.
the week before last?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Was there anything I missed it, unfortunately?
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
But you really didn't miss anything.
Okay.
Heidi was in charge this time. I mean, she was the leader, so things moved along pretty quickly. The status of their upgrade was an interesting topic because they are now looking at migrating in January or early 2020. That was news to Patrick, so because he was expecting this fall. But everything that Patrick has told me about how things are going were verified by what Heidi was saying, that basically all of the circ things look good. There are a few issues that Amy is continuing to pursue, but they're really trivial things like some word changes that she thinks needs to be made, but otherwise everything else is going okay. The rest of the libraries, like the Nebraska libraries, the Kansas library, they've been doing a little bit of testing, but not a whole lot. They are relying on South Central to make sure everything is going to be working the way that they want it to be working. And they have not set their migration dates yet. They asked where we were, and I told them that there were some libraries that have already moved to Bibliovation 6.0, and that for the most part that things are working well for them. So that's basically what there was. The next meeting was set for September. We agreed on a date, and I can't remember what the date was. I always wait for the notification to come out from Heidi or Amy in order to put it on my calendar. The number of bugs, Heidi was pleased that they were almost completely all fixed for the circulation problems. There were a few holds issues that were still being worked on. but overall, she was pretty pleased with what she was seeing.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, as I said before, I really don't have anything new to report on or to show you, so this is one of our shorter meetings that we've had. Thank you for attending, and we're scheduled to meet again on August 8th. Same time, same station. Thank you all for attending.